how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Now, today I wanted to go ahead and make a video all about, well, breeding reptiles, but to get more specific into it, pretty much the highs and lows of breeding reptiles. I think too many people have a misconception that breeding reptiles is, well, easy almost. It's more just like, you know, you pair one snake to one snake and boom, you get eggs, boom, you get babies, boom, you sell babies, boom, you're rich. That's how it goes on some people's minds. However, I am here today to tell you that is not the truth, unfortunately. As much as I wish it was, I am not a rich person. I am very much in debt with opening this business. However, instead of just really sitting in this chair and preaching to you, you know, why breeding is sometimes good, why it sometimes go bad, I figured I'll give you some, you know, visual examples on what's happening with my own projects personally. So today we're going to switch it up a bit. I'm going to get out of this chair. We are going to head over into the reptile room. I'm going to show you guys some of my projects, the ones that are thriving and doing very well, and then some that really missed the mark this year. So with that being said, let's get up and let's go into the reptile room. Alright, so we're here in the reptile room now, and I just want to kind of go over some of the projects I've been doing. We got, of course, some of the Crested Geckos, some togeather babies, and then a new update with the Crocodile Skink. But I figured, let's start out with the Crested Geckos. So as far as high and lows go for the Crested Gecko project, it was pretty touch and go in the beginning. Come here, sweetie. Oh boy. It was pretty touch and go in the beginning. We weren't getting eggs very often. Pretty much like, I believe we were in March, pretty much, when they was being bred in January. We did not receive any eggs, so I was pretty discouraged that this year was going to be a flop for them. However, I am happy to say that is not the case. So far, I believe we have 1, 2, 3, 4 clutches of eggs. We have 8 eggs right now. One did just hatch. We'll show that baby off here in a second. And we still have 1, 2, 3, 4 breeders going, so we're gonna have a pretty big season for Crested Geckos. And yes, that does include the most anticipated gecko of this year, Cookie. Cookie is, of course, that Super Dow Inkblot who is just on the move. I'm just gonna let her crawl around on me. She has just these beautiful giant ink splots, Super Dow spots, whatever you want to call it. They look amazing. She was paired with spots this year, and we did just receive 1 clutch of eggs from her, and she's looking pretty gravid, so I imagine she'll be laying any time, really any day now this month, to get our second clutch of eggs from her. So as far as the Crested Geckos go, we were having a very good season. Pretty much everything that I really wanted to have happen. I wish it happened a little bit sooner. She's having some trouble hanging on because of the, she's just about to shed, it looks. But before we dive into the Crocodile Skinks, I want to talk a little bit about these Crested Gecko babies, including the one that we just hatched, because this guy is hilarious. Those of you guys that don't follow me on social media or any of the reptile groups I am in, I posted this picture right here. This guy was fresh right out of the egg. Let's take a look at how he's doing now, but I mean, just hilarious. Like, right out of the egg, I grabbed him, he jumped out of my hand, scurried around, took me about 5 minutes to catch the little thing. I mean, this is an animal that is 7 hours old, and he is just booking it. Eventually got a hold of him. It was really tricky because, you know, you don't really want to grab a, you know, 7-hour-old gecko. You don't want to hurt it in any way, so I, like, as gently as I could, tried to scoop it in my hand, and it just was not having any of it. But finally, when I grabbed it, you know, I got this face right here. It was priceless. But here we have the little guy. Something I always find interesting about baby Crested Geckos are the tails. You can see right there, it's just this funky, weird, it's got like this white, but it's broken on sides. I don't know if this is gonna hold. From what I've seen, they usually don't. They usually, after a certain amount of time, just kind of fade off. I've had some interesting like charcoal colors with some of my holdbacks, and they just eventually dull. But here we are, a beautiful red tokay. This was the project of red, that red bicolor Dalmatian produced with spots. Of course, my male Super Dow, and this gecko is just gorgeous. She's gonna have some deep reds in the future. A little tongue flick. Obviously, you can already see some spots going on. It's very good to see, especially at a baby this young, so I'm very excited what this little one's gonna turn out in the future. And then we still have some geckos from the 2019 clutches. This is actually the this is actually the second gecko that I've ever hatched. When she did hatch, you know, I used to make fun of her because that first male, of course, like had these brilliant spots at such a young age, and this one had virtually 0. So, you know, she got made fun of a little bit on the channel, but she has really come a long way. She has these beautiful, of course, the spots came finally, you know, it only took 1 year. I guess she was a late bloomer, but she's finally having these Dow spots, and these tiger bandings are really starting to get in. They're very vivid, and just beautiful. It almost looks like she also has some partial phantom pinning. All in all, this is a beautiful Crested Gecko. I'm not sure if she's gonna end up being for sale or not at this point. She was for sale and on hold for someone, but they haven't gotten back to me in about a month or so, so she might come up for sale. She might just hold her back. My wife kind of likes her, so this one might be staying. And then we have this little one here, which again was a holdback. Someone was going to purchase both of them, then ended up not, so this one's actually going to end up going for if you want a spunky gecko, this is where it's at. This one's actually going to end up, I'm going to put it back on the market. Again, beautiful, dark, rich tiger bands. This is just a gorgeous baby. You have 1 or 2 ink blots. How many of you guys miss the Crested Gecko footage where they flop on me every 5 seconds? Just a beautiful gecko all in all. This is a 2019 baby. It was later in the year. I believe this one was in July. I want to say July or September. This is one of the last clutch of eggs that was hatched. So about coming up to a year now, but you know, still a little out there. But just a beautiful baby. If, well, she's back in the enclosure. If this is an animal that you'd be interested, you could always hit me up at DBCB Exotics on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll be happy to help you out with them. Now, I know, you guys want to get into the Crocodile Skinks, and just real quick, I kind of want to brag about this gecko right here. This has been a 2019 holdback. My God. This is a 2019 holdback, and this thing is just out of this world. As far as the tiger banding goes, this one doesn't really have it, but what it lacks in tiger banding, it definitely makes up for in spots. My God, as a 2019 baby, this thing is super spotty. It's got ink blotting on a couple parts of its body. I love the one right above the eye. That's my favorite one, but a lot of head spotting, body spotting. Really, this thing has just spots all over. I am very excited at this point, you know, what this thing's gonna look like when it's ready to breed, because I mean, it's gonna be stunning, that's for sure. Alright, I feel like I've bored you guys enough with my Crested Gecko talk. Come on, little guy. Let's get into the Crocodile Skinks. As far as the Crocodile Skinks go, I know we have been very slow on, you know, what's been going on with them. A lot of people are asking for updates. When are they going to be paired? You know, what's going on with them? And unfortunately, for the most part, it is just waiting. Try to put this in here. It is just waiting for them to reach a breedable size. They just aren't it right now. However, of course, we have that first pair that's been going for a few, and I have some exciting news about that. And there we have it over there, guys. Sorry, it's a little dusty from the peat moss, but we have one Crocodile Skink Egg. I'm very excited about that. That probably didn't sound too good on the audio. I'm very excited about that. I've been waiting for a Crocodile Skink Egg. That mom seemed gravid. I want to say like April she was looking gravid, so to finally have an egg that's dropped and on the ground and incubating right now is some exciting news. As far as when the other Crocodile Skinks are going to be paired off and start breeding and producing more eggs, I just got some bad news about that, and pretty much it really goes to show, you know, the good and bad with reptile breeding. Things just don't go always how you want them to plan. You know, you buy 3 pairs of ready to breed Crocodile Skinks and you end up with 3 parasite-ridden skinny adults. So as far as that goes, it's gonna be a while. I'll pretty much just make the statement. I don't think it's gonna happen in 2020, guys. I think I'm just gonna work on getting these guys as, you know, beefy, bulked up, and healthy as I can for this year, and then next year I'll think about planning on pairing them off. Maybe it'll happen sooner, but as far as I'm seeing, you know, they're slow growing right now. They are gaining weight, however, it's just not that much weight. I just don't think they're gonna make size by this year, unfortunately. It's funny because they sent me pretty much like the exact opposite of what I wanted. The males are looking pretty healthy. They're all like of size, they're big, they're, you know, they're healthy adults, whereas my females, they look like crap. They're skinny, they're thin, and like some of them are lethargic, so they're like, some of them are still in the process of acclimating to the setup, and some of them I got to dish feed, some of them I haven't. It's just this funny thing where like I really want my females to be bulky, not my males, but I ended up with the opposite. Then as far as my Tokay geckos go, and really what's going on with the babies, I'm sure a lot of you are interested. You know, messages pretty much every day. Do you have Tokay baby? Fuck. A lot of you guys have been messaging me about Tokay availability, and I am happy to say that the wait is finally coming to an end. So far, these guys have been gaining a lot in size, especially this normal pair over here. I mean, they are pretty big, you know, from when they first hatched. They've gained a lot of girth, a lot of size, and I'm happy to say that pretty much as soon as I get these bins fixed, which I'm gonna get them all set up, if again the grow tent video, link it right here for you guys that haven't seen it. So I'm getting those partial bins ready and set up, and when I do and start moving them into those tent temp enclosures, I'm actually going to be separating the babies from the moms. So at that point, which it should happen probably sometime this week, I will be posting on DBCB Exotics on Facebook and Instagram about a list. The list, you will have to put down a 50% deposit if you want to be on that list. That way I kind of, you know, root out the tire kickers, because, you know, 57 people messaging me about tokays, I'm sure probably only 5 or 6 are really going to be interested. As the tokay geckos go, we had a great season with them. We hatched out 1, 2, 3, 4 clutches, which is pretty good as far as, you know, the first year goes. Or no, do we hatch out more clutches in here? How many babies are in there? Never mind, I just double checked. 2 babies. Okay, so we have 2 babies in there, and then I believe we have like 4 babies in here. I know I started removing one. That one's a holdback. You know, don't even think about that one. That one's mine. As far as tokay geckos go, we are going to be having 3 available. They are all going to be normals. So far, I hatched out 3 normals and then 3 reduced patterns. So I am holding back all of my genetic morphs. I do want a female reduced pattern. Right now, I just have that male blue-headed green reduced. So I do want a female, so I'm going to be holding them all back until I can thoroughly sex them. You know, I want to wait the 5 to 6 months to where I can clearly see if they have pores or if they don't have pores. So at that point, I might be getting rid of 1, maybe 2 reduced patterns, depending on the sex of them. So if you're looking for captive bred normal tokays, you've come to the right place. If you're looking for genetic mutations, go somewhere else. I'm holding all of mine back in the meantime. But as far as breeding plans go in 2021 for tokay geckos, there are going to be some exciting stuff. Of course, we have those pattern blue patternless, which are going to be of size in 2021, so I'll be pairing them. We'll still have our normal pair going strong. Hopefully, I could get the oddball project on its way. The reduced pattern just doesn't seem to be doing the job for her. You know, maybe he's not her type. I don't know what's going on, but it's been a few months now. We have not seen any copulation, any sign of her being gravid with eggs. So, you know, he's gonna get X'd out, unfortunately. He just isn't getting it done. As far as that goes, I'm actually going to be replacing her with Big Red, who's actually in the other facility. I'll take a quick B-roll of him later. So hopefully, obviously you gotta cool him down for a few weeks to make sure that the male scent is off of the female. So they're gonna go in those temp enclosures, and then probably around July, or late June, July, I'll be pairing them and seeing what happens. And then lastly, a great project that I'm very excited for. Of course, we're gonna be taking that first female that was paired with my reduced pattern. Since all of her babies are pretty much going to be grown and ready to go, we'll be pulling them all out, and then next year when that green galaxy, you guys know that this video right here, that insane fucking tokay morph that I have, he'll be of size next year in 2021, and he'll be pairing off with her. So I am very excited to see what kind of babies we can get out of that. Hopefully we'll get some het patternless, maybe some reduced patterns in there again, and then I can pair those off with some pattern blues when they're of size, and just create some crazy genes. You know, I'm really thinking, you know, 2 to 3 years in the future, and just the crazy stuff that I'll be able to produce at that point. Hell, maybe even taking one of those female babies that I have from that project, and then bringing it back into male, try to get visual galaxies of my own. I mean, the possibilities are endless. I have 100 ideas of the projects I want to do. It's gonna take some more tokay geckos, so obviously more tokay geckos are going to be coming on this channel. But yes, so far this project has done me a great success. I'm very happy with how it's turning out, and I'm going to be expanding on it in the future. But okay, enough about the happy-go-lucky stuff, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm always like, the tokays are doing great, you know, the crushers are doing great, everyone's doing great, we got crocskink babies. You know, it isn't always as good as, you know, I'm making it out to be right now. So, but I figured, you know, we'd start off on a high note of all the positives that are happening at DBCB Exotics, but now it's time for pretty much what the worst part of my year has been. I'm pretty beat up about this, I'll be honest with you. Let's get into it. Of course, it's not in here. We're gonna have to take a trip over to the breeding facility. Let's get on our way. Coming up into the breeding facility, you know, we're going to talk a little bit about, you know, more of the lows and the bad side of breeding, you know, like the earlier parts of the video. Well, it's not all just like happy-go-lucky, you know, we got all these eggs, all the eggs are fertile, the babies are thriving, everything is good. No, it doesn't always work out that way. Bad stuff does happen too. Before we get more into that stuff, we're going to take a little sidetrack, actually. You know, I have quite a few hungry reptiles in here right now, so I figured what would be better to lighten up the mood a little before we get a little bit down on ourselves and do a little feeding montage. So let's check that out right now. So it does look like the male's actually going into a deep shed right now, so I'm not sure if he's going to eat, but I already got the rat defrosted, so we're gonna try anyway. Yeah, that's what I thought was gonna happen, but oh well, you know, we'll make sure you get some meal on him right after he's done shedding. Let's move on. That female has been looking hungry ever since I put her in her enclosure, so I'm sure she's gonna feed for us. Alright, she seemed a little stressed out right there. I didn't really like she was striking the feed, but more striking out of fear. So I decided, you know, I'm just going to leave the small rat in there right on the heat pad so it at least warms up a little bit. Maybe it gets her attention, but leave it in there for like an hour or two, see if she eats. If not, I'll come back, and I actually do have another snake that can eat it, so no harm, no foul there, but we still got a few more guys to feed on the other side, so let's keep this going. Coming over to the jungle carpet python, this is actually the first time I'm going to try rat pups with her. For the longest time, you know, I had her on fuzzies and then hoppers, but I kind of want to switch her over to rat so she gains a little bit more bulk. She seems pretty small for being a 2-year-old, so I kind of want to see. I've heard a lot of people, a lot of like carpet python breeders, things like that, of using rats to kind of bulk them up a little bit. So we're gonna try that out now and see if she takes a see if she takes a rat pup. Real quick, I did end up moving her LED bar over into the grow tent where the togegeckos are now residing, so I have another LED bar in the house. I just haven't grabbed it and brought it in here to turn it back on, so it's a little dark. I apologize for that. Also, just for you guys to note, I am going to be sweating a lot more than usual in these vlogs. Anywhere from about summertime to beginning of the fall, this room gets very hot. I don't cool this building, so this building goes anywhere from 80 to at the highest 86 degrees for the entire, you know, length of the day. I keep my warmer reptiles in here, so anything like ball pythons, colubrids, things like that can stand that, you know, 80-degree temperature. So I just really, during the summer, I don't have lights on here. I just keep an ambient temp all around and just have some LEDs for, you know, fluorescent lights. But anyway, time to get into the bad news. I feel like I procrastinated enough. It's the end of the video. Let's talk about it. Unfortunately, you guys know I have been so stoked for these Mexican black king snake eggs. I mean, they have been the most anticipated egg or clutch for the, I don't know, the whole season really this year. As soon as I started cycling them and, you know, putting them down into brumation, I was like, God, I cannot wait for these Mexican black king snake babies. Got the baby rack system and everything. I am good to go. Let's get these guys. Well, that didn't really work out too well for me. I actually got them in my little, you know, that DIY incubator. I got them in there right now. Let's take a look at how they're doing. And here they are, all slugs. You know, when I pulled them the first time, I thought these 3 were gonna be looking good, but a couple of days candling, you know, that's just that brown speck right there igniting, but, you know, no veins, clear, 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 clear. You get the gist of it. These things are not fertile. You can actually see here they're starting to grow mold, especially these guys over here. So I was gonna run them for like a week just to double check, but at this point I'm fairly confident these are no good. I'm gonna chuck them. Yep. Big bummer for me, really big bummer. I know these guys were gonna be great. I've had a lot of people, you know, asking me about them, and I was really excited. You know, this is my first year breeding snakes ever. You know, I've done a couple of years now, or a few years now, of breeding different species of geckos, but I really want to try my luck on snakes. Of course, I chose colubrids, which is a one-shot animal pretty much. You know, you get one shot to do it right, and then you gotta wait till next year. That's pretty much what we're gonna have to do, guys. Just wait till next year. Unfortunately, there will be no Mexican black king snakes this year. I know a couple of you guys were pretty excited for it. I was very excited for it. I'm actually having some king snakes eggs of my own and some babies, but just didn't pan out that way. It just goes to show you, you know, there are highs and lows in breeding reptiles. Of course, you know, I'm having a great year with the Crested Geckos, although a bit belated. I'm actually now getting quite a few eggs now. Of course, I had a great year with the togegeckos. Crocskinks are going well, but these Mexican black king snakes just did not do anything for me. But who knows, maybe next year I can get a nice clutch going for them. Obviously next year also we have the ball pythons, so that's another snake I'm gonna try my luck at. We'll have quite a few ball pythons to work with, so with quite a few females, I'm sure I can get one clutch of eggs. Well, hopefully. That's gonna wrap up the video for today. I am very hot. I'm filming this after I got out of work, so it's about 5 or 6 o'clock. This is actually the hottest the room will be. Not a very good time to film a video. My face is red as a tomato. I'm probably gonna look silly, but who cares? Gotta get that content out there 3 days a week, 4:15. I'm not gonna miss it. Yeah, that's gonna wrap up the video for today, guys. If we had some good things, of course. I got whoa, that is bright. I got a few good things going, of course, with some of the other geckos. So if you guys are interested in geckos and one crocodile skink, definitely hit me up. We'll have some of those more available as time goes on. But unfortunately, if you're looking for snakes, this is not the place to go. Alright, I'm disturbing all the snakes at this point. I should have fed last and then finished the vlog, because literally all these snakes have stopped eating and started looking at me. This is not what you do. Yeah, wrapping up. So what did you guys think about this? This is kind of a, new little style of how I'm doing things, or how I kind of want to do things, I guess. Instead of just doing this, sitting down in one spot, talking a little bit at one specific subject, I decided, I guess this is more like a vlog type video. I'm walking around, moving around, going to different places, doing different things, like we're talking about good and bad things about breeding reptiles, how there's highs and lows, but also, I'm feeding reptiles, we're checking on other reptiles, little updates in between. I feel like it kind of mixes things up a little bit and, just makes it a little more entertaining. Kind of make sure, people actually enjoy the video all the way through instead of getting bored halfway. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. Obviously, I'll try to fix the lighting thing, because, it keeps going light and dark. I'll figure that out, some other day. But yeah, leave me a comment in the comment sections what you think about this video style. If you like it, if you'd rather pass, who knows, maybe I'll do it more often, maybe I'll never do it again. But other than that, if you like the video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see some more of my animals or my breeding products, you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at DBCB Exotics. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching. We're gonna get super bright for this. I hope you have a great day.